Hey, it's Ryan with S&B. Today we're going to be doing an install on our Raptor R intake for the Whipple Supercharger. So if you've upgraded your Raptor R or are looking to upgrade to the Whipple, this is the intake you're going to need. So same huge air filter, huge air box, and then tube specifically designed and coupler specifically designed to work with the Whipple Supercharger. So we'll jump back here. You can see this truck has the Whipple installed. So we're going to go ahead and start ripping out this factory intake and getting the S&B kit installed. Step one, we're going to use a panel popper tool or a flathead and remove the two push rivets holding down the factory air scoop, and we're going to set these aside. Step two, we're going to use a 13mm socket and remove the factory bolt holding the air box to the fender. And then with that out of there, we can also pull the bushing and grommet out. We're next going to use a 5/16 or 8mm and remove the hose clamp at the throttle body. Next up, we're going to push the two tabs on the quick connect fitting right here on the back of the intake tube and remove that CCV fitting from the intake tube. And then push the tab down on the IAT sensor and remove the IAT sensor as well. This is going to be pushed down. Next, we're going to use a panel popper and remove the wire loom for the IAT sensor from the airbox. And then one more right here. Now the airbox should be ready to remove from the vehicle. Like so. We're next going to take the IAT sensor out of the factory intake tube. So to do so, I'm just going to put a pick. There's a finger right here. I'm just going to put a pick under the finger, and then with that I can twist this and it'll come right out. Our hardware pack here. These are quick connect removal tools for the crankcase hose, which we aren't going to be using today since we're keeping the Whipple installed CCV hose. But in case you need to remove that fitting, that's how you do it. And then we're going to grab the IAT grommet for the sensor and push this into the intake tube. And then we're going to take our Ford IAT sensor and slide it in. And this goes over the ramp and clicks into place. We also aren't going to be using the smaller fitting. The Whipple kit doesn't reuse that factory vacuum hose. So next we're going to grab the quick connect and we're just going to thread this in by hand. It's important not to over tighten this. I just do it by hand, and as soon as it's tight by hand, you're good to go. That plastic's an MPT, so it's going to seal up against the aluminum insert. And then the tube is pretty much ready to go in the truck. We'll install the coupler on the throttle body first, but we'll move over to that in a second. So moving over to the airbox, we're going to install our large front air scoop and then open up our next hardware pack. In here, we're going to have all these 4 sets of 2-piece rivets. So the way these work is you just slide together and engage over the top of each other. So we're going to push it in from the bottom first, and then through the hole. You'll see it pop up on top, and then we're going to 180 degrees and push them in. We're going to do this 4 times. So just want to get it through the hole, and then repeat the exact same process on the bottom. I'll show you here. So same thing. Okay. With that, we're ready to install the air box once we get this grommet slipped into the box here. And then we're going to take the shoulder washer and press that in. That's going to act as our compression limiter. And we will take the screw out of the factory bushing here and reuse this screw like so. To finish assembling the box, we're going to pre-install the filter. So to do so, I'm going to put the bottom of the filter in, or the top of the filter in the box first, and then pull it up slightly. There's a little ledge, you'll feel it pop over. And then we can work the snap feature into the box. I'll do so by starting at the bottom here. I'm just having my fingers on the inside lip here and just pulling my way around. It snaps right into place. And we'll slide the hose clamp out. Loosely install our intake tube. We don't want to tighten this down yet, as we don't know the exact orientation until we get in the truck. And then we're going to take our coupler for the supercharger side and go ahead and pre-install this. Like so, with both of our hose clamps. Oops. We'll orient these so we can get to them. And now we're ready to bring the whole intake system into the truck. We're also going to work on getting our IAT sensor in place. So I got the extension harness plugged in, and then I'm just going to zip tie this thing up and out of the way. So we'll make sure it doesn't get caught up in anything. Looks like I can go right here around this radiator mount. And we'll chop that extra off. Then this will be routed right out to where we need it shortly. So actually, bring the full intake assembly into the truck. And work it into the coupler. Like so. We'll kind of twist this to get it to sit perfectly in the coupler. We're looking pretty good here. I'm just gonna rotate this so it's perfectly seated against the bead. Push our filter on, make sure it's seated all the way around. And then we'll get this filter hose clamp, which is up top here, tightened down once we know it's flush against the bead all the way around. The two hose clamps on top of the throttle body. I'm going to put my two push rivets in my inlet air scoop. And I can connect my IAT sensor at this point as well. And then if you have any extra cable, you can route that to the side here or zip tie it out of the way. We're going to take the Whipple supplied PCV hose, slip that over. It's a little tight initially. Once it's over the fitting, it's going to have plenty of room to slide on and lock. There it goes. So we just got to get it under that hose clamp. And it's on and locked. I made sure with my finger that the bead was fitted all the way against the filter, had good engagement with the intake tube here. And then the final step is going to be to go install our bolt from the side here. We'll feed our factory bolt in through the bushing, through our shoulder washer, and into the truck. Get that started by hand, and then I'm going to grab a 13 millimeter. And snug that up. Final step, we're going to prepare the lid. So to do so, I might need to take my glove off here. I'm going to get a fingernail. Here is a good spot to start. So once you get that going, peel that up. And then we'll repeat the exact same process on this side. There it goes. So now we can start working our lid seal on. Just go all the way around. And with the lid seal on, move back into the truck here. And then I like to start at one corner, one side. So we'll start bottom left corner, bottom right side, and just start working our way around. You'll kind of feel it click. We're almost there, and you can kind of come help it from inside the scoop here too, once you get to the last little bit. And so with it all the way around, there it goes right there. I just felt it pop. So we've got that seated all the way around the air box, and that is the end of the install. So we just wrapped up the install, got our huge air filter installed here. You can see that monstrous box, clear lid, air filter, and then we got our huge tube going to the Whipple superchargers. This is really going to let that Whipple get the air it needs and wants. Should be able to hear a lot more supercharger noise. We're going to shoot some sound clips here in a minute so you can hear what that sounds like driving and at idle, revving the truck up, parked. So we'll get that all knocked out. But yeah, let us know if you have any questions. Thanks for your time.